What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Renegadesgarage. In this episode, we're talking about this. I want to finally give you guys a bit of a walk around of my Jeep Wrangler and give you a little background as to why we're starting a frame swap / 1-ton swap. So stay tuned and we'll get into this. Okay, so first of all, if you guys are not aware, on my channel, this is the main vehicle. One of many, but this is one of the main ones that started the channel with the content you guys have now. So this is a 2007 Jeep Wrangler, two-door, obviously. It has the 3.8 and automatic. Currently sitting on a built 30 in the front, built 44 in the rear. And so it currently needs a major problem addressed. And that major problem that needs to be addressed is this. Right there. The frame is rusted. See right here, the channel meats is starting to peel up because there's rust building underneath of it. You see the big rust hole in the frame. And you can see the air wheel well right here starting to rust out in the tub. Frame is rusty. Then the big issue is the sway bar mounts on both sides been pulled out from the rust. Passenger side is a lot worse than this side, but both sides are just as bad. Where I've had to patch both sides. This side I use a piece of angle iron, kind of like C-channeled it, welded it in, and welded some nuts into it so I'll mount my sway bar to. But then over here, come look over here on the passenger side, we've had to fully plate this side in, and my front bumper has been ripped off trying to help friends out of the mud, and I've actually had to plate the front beam in on both sides. And you can see it, but there's a rust. It's completely rusted out right there, and then you can see it. Yeah, and see the rust hole right there where it's been rusted out. So I've actually had to piece this side back together completely. So some people right there would be like, let's just go ahead and get rid of this vehicle. It is rusted out, it's not worth anything. But you know, to me, this is my first major Jeep I've had. I've had a couple others, but this is my first like actual off-road rig. It's also paid for just about. So I mean, there's no real reason in not fixing it. So in order to fix it, what I end up doing, the only logical thing I could think of at the time was buy another frame. This frame is from, I believe it was a 2010 or 2011 Wrangler, so it's the 3.6 as well. So I know the drivetrain will bolt up. This frame is a Florida frame, so it has a few pits of surface rust here and there, but it's nowhere near as bad as what my Jeep has. So got the new frame. I'm going to be putting the Barnes 4-wheel drive 3-link swap kit on it. So I got the beam for the rear. Those are 2 frame mounts for the rear that weld in right here. Then I'm going to be cutting the front coil buckets off, the original factory mounts here, putting the transmission crossmember swap in for the Barnes 4-wheel drive kit as well. The mount for over there. So going 3-link front and rear. Going to go coil over front and rear. Possibly just front, but I think I'm going to do front and rear. I'm going to stretch the wheelbase, move the front axle forward roughly an inch and a half. It's going to depend on how much I can get away with before having track bar and steering issues. The rear, I'm hoping to go anywhere from 3 to 5 inches. So I want to try to get around 100 to 103 inch wheelbase. So me going coilovers front and rear, I can get rid of the coils out of the situation, so I can just, you know, I'm gonna get some mounts for the frame. I'm gonna put the coilovers wherever I need them. Okay. Then on top of this frame swap slash one ton swap being, you know, ever so easy as it is already, I have one more thing I get to deal with. On that same topic of rust, my tub has some rust issues. So both rear body mount bushing areas both have rust holes going into the rear storage tray area thing in the back. So I want to fix that. So with the 1 ton, I'm going a Dana 60 in the front from a 99 to 04 Ford. I'm doing the 14 bolt Chevy in the rear, you know, the 99 to 06. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to move the rear back. So I move the rear back, going to change these fenders, and I'm going to cut the tub out to probably right about here. I'm still working on figuring that one out in my head. So then I'm going to trim this fender, this inner fender back. I'm probably going to change out the fuel filler cap or fuel filler door to probably just standard gas filler. I don't know, just one that's not recessed, to be able to give me a better angle to work with right there. Okay, so a little bit of a walk around of the current setup is I got my flat fenders front and rear. I'm currently running a set of 35 mile/hour Patagonias, a set of Pro Comp rims front and rear, running a Raptor Series anti-sway bar, which I'll have a review on that later. I think part of my problems, I'm running it on a 2-door, or I think this is made for a 4-door, and running the Dana 30 in the front, being a lighter axle, I think is also not helping matters. So after I get the 1 tons, I'll have a review and a better ideal video of this. Also running the matching Raptor Series springs. I love these. They've gave me the best ride yet for this Jeep. Also paired with 5100 Bilsteins front and rear. So like I said before, my Dana 30 in the front is semi-built. It's been sleeved, has Yukon 456 gears with, I forget which style. It's not a locker, it's like a limited slip locker hybrid thing. Torque locker, I think it's a torque locker. Don't quote me on that. I bought the axle used, and half time I can never remember what the locker is the guy put in there. But with chromoly axle shafts on that. Moving to the rear, this one I built. This one I bought the parts for, so we actually built this one. This has a Dana 40 or Dana 44 in the rear, chromoly axle shafts to match the front, Yukon 456 gears in it as well, and this has a e-locker. I love the E-ton. I personally like the electronic locker or the air lockers, but that's just me. I'm thinking on my 1 tons at some point when I put better lockers in there, I might do air, just for the sake of I'm going to do an onboard air system for the Jeep anyhow, so might as well. But so with the 1 ton swap, I'm going to be swapping rear bumpers, possibly ditching the rear spare tire. I don't know yet. We completely change out the interior. I'm gonna be ditching the factory seats front and rear, instead of off the what is it, ARP seats, I think it is. For the daily driver series for the front, I'm just going to ditch the rear seat altogether for the rear. And I'm going to do the sport cage, whereas I'm going to do the bar behind. Where I can do a 4-point harness with the crossbar for the front, the tie-in bar right here, and the window bar. Just to help give me a little more security in case something was to happen. I was to roll this or lay it on its side. Also have a set of Ruby style rock rails for this, but I have the enhanced ones where it has the tube. I love these. I have smacked these against plenty of things and they've done just fine. The driver's side I have bent up a little, but I took a big screwdriver in. I have a real big screwdriver I stuck in there, bent it down a little, and it's back fine. I have a gas tank skid from Rough Country. I'm going to be installing on the new frame because, back to the rust issue, it has a few. Still running the automatic skid for the front. I got this big old monster of a skid plate for my transfer, and then I have an evap skid over there. Like I said, I have the Adams drive shafts front and rear, the Raptor series fixed length control arms. So these are slightly longer than stock to help get my wheelbase back correct after lifting it. The Raptor series adjustable track bars front and rear. So yeah. So there's a couple part build that's going to go on with this. The first is get the frame and the axles on a rolling chassis over there. That'd be remove the body off of its current frame, fix a couple of rust holes I have to fix on it, and then it'd be merging this body to its new frame, swapping drivetrain over, replacing hoses, replacing body mounts, bushings, all that crap. But so for right now, I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna run the factory gears out of the 14 bolt. I'm gonna run the 410s that has the Detroit locker. So I'm just gonna run the Detroit locker in the rear, re-gear the Dana 30 for the front, run 410s front and rear, just to get it on the road. I did some research. My front drive shaft I swapped into this was the Adams drive shaft. I'm probably just going to reuse that for the Dana 60 for the time being, just get a different yoke to run the 1310 yoke. I know that's not ideal for this situation, but for the time being, just to get it on the road. Then I'm going to have to get a custom one made for the rear because of it being extended wheelbase. And if somebody has a little bit of insight on that for me, if I can use a 4-door drive shaft or a drive shaft from a different vehicle, give me a little bit of input on that, I'm more than willing to listen. But yeah, for right now, it's just going to be get this thing sitting on a new frame, fix the rust, and get it on the 1-tons. But the 1-tons I'm going with are the Dana 60 in front, like I said, 14 bolt Chevy in the rear. I'm going with Barnes 4-wheel drive 3-link setup front and rear, possibly doing coilovers front and rear. So I don't know how many part series this is going to be. I'm not entirely sure how in-depth each video is going to be because I tend to forget to film while I'm working. But I'm going to try to give you guys the best content possible out of this. I hope you're enjoying the video content so far. Much more off-roading content to come, much more camping content to come. Now it's coming summer. Got the runaway over there behind me, and my homemade camper I made also right there that I need to make an updated video on as well. So if you guys are enjoying the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. It sure helps get our channel in the algorithm to become more known by other people. And we'll see you in the next video.